Hello there, and welcome to Sleep Science 360. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Maybe your day has been long, or maybe your thoughts are still gently orbiting, turning like quiet planets in your mind. Either way, this time is for you. There's nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to do. Just breathe softly and let your body grow lighter, as if gravity itself has softened around you. Because tonight, we're not only looking at the stars, we're drifting deeper into the invisible threads that may hold the entire universe together. Physicists call them cosmic strings. They might be thinner than an atom, yet longer than a galaxy. Remnants from the universe's first moments, frozen vibrations of energy, still echoing through space-time. If they exist, they are the oldest filaments of creation, woven through everything you can see and everything you can't. The galaxies, the clusters, the atoms, all may rest upon that silent cosmic fabric. You don't need to follow the equations tonight. You only need to imagine the stillness between vibrations, the calm hum of the universe at rest. Light that left its star before you were born is touching your skin tonight. And somewhere in that same light, those ancient strings may still be singing softly, endlessly. Let that thought unwind the last of your tension. Let the room feel wider. Let time slow down. You are part of that woven music. You can rest now. It began with a trembling, not a sound we could ever hear, but a ripple in the newborn fabric of space-time. A universe only seconds old, stretching and cooling after the first explosion of light. Physicists imagine that in that early chaos, tiny imperfections froze into existence. They were the first lines the universe ever drew narrow seams, where energy refused to smooth itself out. Those lines are what we call cosmic strings. Each one may be thinner than a proton, yet so dense that a single meter could outweigh a mountain. If such a thread stretched across your view of the sky, it might cross entire galaxies without breaking, but you would never see it. It would pass through stars, through dust, through you, silent, invisible, ancient. Some believe these strings were born less than a trillionth of a second after time itself began. In that instant space, cooled from unimaginable heat to something slightly more stable. And as it did, regions of energy folded like wrinkles in a cooling surface. Each wrinkle became a filament, a frozen vibration, a scar left by creation. The universe has been expanding for nearly 13.8 billion years, and if cosmic strings still exist, they are older than light, older than galaxies, older than gravity as we know it. They may still hum so slowly that the note takes millions of years to form a single wave. Imagine them as the faint music of existence, strings stretched through time, their tension shaping the rhythm of galaxies. If two strings were ever to cross, they could loop, twist, or even release a burst of energy brighter than an entire star cluster. Yet in all that power, there is still quiet, the quiet of structure, forming the quiet of gravity, finding balance. Somewhere in the cosmic dark, a thread may still be vibrating softly, endlessly marking the path between one cluster of galaxies and another. It does not shout, it does not move quickly, it simply is. And when you breathe, you are part of that stillness, your atoms resting on the same lattice that holds every world. You can rest now. Light that left its home billions of years ago passes through those same invisible lines. It bends slightly. It curves where the string pulls space-time around itself. To astronomers, this distortion is a whisper, a clue left on the fabric of the cosmos. We cannot touch it, but we can sense its gravity in the way light wavers across the sky. If cosmic strings are real, they may be the hidden architecture of everything. a web of memory running through space-time, carrying the story of the universe's birth. And as you lie here, your breath slowing to the rhythm of distant stars, you are not separate from that story. You are one of its quiet notes, a momentary vibration on a vast, invisible string. It's okay to drift, because the universe has been drifting since the beginning, unraveling gently, breathing slowly through every particle of you. Somewhere, light continues to travel, and in that movement, the first vibrations still echo soft as thought, steady as rest. You can rest now. The universe has never been still. Even now, as you breathe, space stretches quietly between every atom, between every star, and through that expansion runs something unseen, a hidden geometry, the lattice of gravity. If cosmic strings truly exist, they would not drift alone. They would weave the universe together, tugging gently on the fabric of space-time, tracing invisible paths where matter would later gather. Each string would be a boundary of tension, a line of energy that says, this is where the universe will build. Over billions of years, those lines may have guided the newborn galaxies, the way frost forms along the tiniest crack in glass, where the energy-folded matter followed. Hydrogen pooled like dew along a spider's web of gravity, and from that dew came the first light. Imagine the early cosmos, a haze of particles glowing faintly, still ringing from creation. Across that haze, the strings hummed infinitesimal vibrations, shaping the distribution of stars to come. Astronomers today map the sky and see filaments of galaxies stretching hundreds of millions of light years. They call it the cosmic web, a network so vast that each filament holds thousands of clusters with dark voids yawning between. To many scientists, this pattern is the frozen memory of something older, deeper. Perhaps the first lattice of gravity. A single cosmic string could curve space-time enough to bend a ray of light that passes near it. If you were to gaze at a distant galaxy and a string crossed between you and it, the image might appear duplicated, two identical galaxies mirroring each other in the sky. It would not be a trick of the eye, but a lens of gravity itself, a whisper left by something thinner than an atom, yet heavy beyond imagining. You can rest now, because even as your body grows, still the universe continues, its slow breathing, stretching, cooling, drifting, on the same tension that formed everything. Gravity is not only a pull, it is a conversation between all things. When you drop a stone, the earth answers. When a star collapses, space listens and curves inward. Cosmic strings, if real, would be the oldest sentences of that conversation, the first words written on the page of space-time. Scientists describe their tension with a number about 10 to the power of 39 newtons, more than a trillion times stronger than the force that binds atoms together. Yet they are silent. They carry no sound, only curvature. If two strings intersect, they may loop, reconnect, and send a pulse of gravitational waves rippling across the cosmos. Each pulse travels at the speed of light, a faint tremor no ear could hear, but one that instruments on Earth now seek delicate detectors, waiting for space-time to ring like a distant bell. Somewhere, perhaps, one of those bells has already tolled its echo, crossing billions of light years to arrive as you listen. And though the sound is too small for air, you feel it anyway, in the slow rhythm of your heartbeat, in the drift of your breath. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. It's okay to drift. As gravity stretched along those invisible lines, the first galaxies began to form. Dust collected stars, ignited, and darkness turned luminous. From one perspective, cosmic strings are the architects of structure. From another, they are the remnants of imperfection wrinkles that refuse to vanish. And yet, isn't that how beauty often begins? From the place where symmetry falters, from the moment where perfection bends. Physicists once calculated that a single loop of string only a kilometer long would weigh as much as an entire planet. If it snapped, the energy released could outshine every star in a galaxy for a heartbeat of time. But mostly they do not snap. They endure quiet, stretched waiting. In computer models, strings twist and tangle, forming networks that evolve for eons. Some fragments loop into circles, spiraling inward until they dissolve into gravitational waves. Others stretch across the expanding universe, longer than imagination allows. Each movement leaves a signature, a subtle trembling that telescopes might someday trace. And though we may never see them directly, their influence could explain why galaxies form where they do, why matter clings to certain threads and avoids the vast emptiness between. Like a loom weaving stars from dust, the lattice of gravity holds pattern within chaos. You can rest now. Some researchers call this pattern the handwriting of the universe. Every cluster, every filament, every void is a syllable of a cosmic language still unfolding across billions of years. The Milky Way itself may lie along one faint sentence of that grand design. And somewhere in that line, Earth turns slowly, a comma in an endless story. If you could step outside of time and look back, you might see the whole structure glowing, a shimmering net of light and gravity, delicate, enormous, alive. Each intersection of filaments would pulse with galaxies. Between them, darkness would breathe softly, like the quiet between thoughts. In the silence of deep space, gravity and light perform their slow duet. One shapes, the other reveals. They never rush, never collide in haste. Their music takes billions of years to play a single note. And tonight you are hearing a fragment of that note, not with your ears, but with your calm awareness, because the same laws that sculpt galaxies also cradle you. The same curvature that bends light, holds your body to the earth, keeps oceans near the moon, and turns every breath into part of a universal rhythm. It's okay to drift. You are safe here. At the edge of known space, the lattice fades into speculation. Perhaps there are countless strings beyond our horizon, vibrating in other regions of space-time threads belonging to universes we will never see. If so, their music joins ours, a chorus too vast for understanding yet perfect in its harmony. In quantum theory, everything is vibration. Matter, light, even time itself arises from oscillations of underlying fields. Cosmic strings may simply be the first and longest of those oscillations, the baseline of existence, a tone so low, so slow, that it becomes stillness. And that stillness is what you feel now. The calm after the long day, the moment when thought quiets and awareness spreads outward like light. Gravity holds you gently. The planet hums beneath you, and far above, threads of space-time continue to shimmer, carrying the memory of creation. You can rest now, because in every direction the universe is expanding into softness, stretching its luminous web, allowing everything, including you, to simply be. In the quiet between stars, the universe remembers its first vibration. Somewhere that vibration still lingers, somewhere light continues to travel, and somewhere within that lattice of gravity, you are seen, you are still, you are part of the pattern. It's okay to drift. You are safe here. In the beginning, there was no sound. There was only curvature, the bending of a newborn fabric so vast it had no edges, its surface trembling with energy too smooth for noise. Every fold carried a rhythm, a quiet geometry that could be felt but not heard. Physicists call this geometry spacetime. It is not flat, not curved like a sphere, but dynamic rippling whenever mass or motion disturbs it. When a star collapses, the ocean of spacetime shivers. When two black holes collide, the ripples spread outward for billions of light years. These are gravitational waves, the slowest, deepest notes of the cosmos. They travel at exactly the speed of light, stretching and squeezing everything they pass through, changing distances by less than 1 part in a quadrillion. You can rest now. Here on Earth, vast instruments listen for them. 2 long corridors of laser light, 4 kilometers in length, cross each other in the fields of Louisiana and Washington. They are the LIGO Observatory's machines, so sensitive they can detect a distortion smaller than a proton. When a wave finally reaches them, mirrors shift ever so slightly, a motion measured in billionths of a meter. And yet the detectors sing. It is the universe announcing that something immense has moved. Somewhere in that faint music may hide the vibration of a cosmic string. Its frequency would be lower than any sound our ears could perceive, a single note that takes centuries to complete one oscillation. It would register not as tone, but as curvature, a subtle, persistent tension in spacetime. It's okay to drift. Silence, then, is not empty. It is structure, a framework of waiting. Between every vibration lies stillness, and that stillness is what gives form to motion. In deep space, particles rarely collide. Instead, their fields overlap, forming standing waves that never fade. Each wave defines a region of calm, a pause where the universe catches its breath. If cosmic strings exist, they may trace those pauses, the places where creation rested before moving again. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the memory of energy before it speaks. Astronomers map these silent regions by watching how light bends. When a beam from a distant galaxy passes near an unseen filament, it curves, sometimes splitting into 2 identical images, a cosmic mirage known as gravitational lensing. Such double galaxies are clues, possible fingerprints of strings thinner than atoms, but heavier than worlds. To trace one perfectly would be to sketch the outline of the universe's first vibration. You can rest now. Far from our planet, silence grows thicker. Between clusters of galaxies lie voids, regions, tens of millions of light years wide, containing fewer than 1 atom per cubic meter. Yet even those voids are not truly empty. They shimmer with quantum fields, their energies canceling and reappearing like faint ripples on still water. Physicists call this the quantum vacuum, a sea of potential where virtual particles blink in and out of being 10 to the power of 100 times each second. Most of those fluctuations cancel instantly, but occasionally they align, creating a micro-pulse of gravity, a whisper in the geometry of silence. Imagine that whisper, spreading outward, a tremor so gentle it takes 10 billion years to cross the sky. Somewhere, a detector may already be hearing it, not as noise, but as a drift in rhythm. It's okay to drift. On human scales, silence lasts a moment. On cosmic scales, silence lasts epochs. Between the major chords of creation, the birth of galaxies, the fusion of stars, the death of suns, stretch vast intervals of stillness, measured in billions of years. During those intervals, the geometry continues to evolve, carrying memory forward like an echo that never fades. Mathematicians describe this evolution using Einstein's field equations, a set of 10 coupled tensors relating energy, momentum, and curvature. To them, every mass is a note, every field a harmony. When mass disappears, the harmony continues as a residual wave. And when all motion ceases, what remains is geometry itself, pure shape without sound. Every vibration leaves behind a curve. Every curve is a silence folded into form. You can rest now. Even your body participates in this quiet architecture. Your heartbeat emits infinitesimal gravitational waves, ripples too small to detect but real nonetheless. Each breath slightly disturbs the curvature around you. You are not outside the geometry. You are one of its coordinates, one oscillation among countless others. When you breathe slowly, the geometry around you settles into symmetry. The pulse of blood, the motion of air, the cooling of skin, all merge into the same long wavelength of stillness. That is why calm feels spacious. Space itself is aligning with you. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. It's okay to drift. Beyond the reach of our telescopes, the cosmic microwave background still glows at 2.725 Kelvin. The afterlight of the Big Bang stretched across 13.8 billion years. Within that faint radiation, scientists search for patterns, minute anisotropies that might reveal the passage of a gravitational wave or the scar of a cosmic string long vanished. Each tiny variation, one part in 1,000,000, is a syllable in the universe's autobiography. Some simulations show that a network of strings could have seeded the cosmic web we see today. Their gravitational pull would have drawn matter into filaments, creating the large-scale skeleton of the universe. If this is true, then every galaxy, including ours, owes its position to a silent line of tension laid down in the first trillionth of a second after the beginning. You can rest now. As silence deepens, it begins to resemble music slowed beyond recognition. A human ear can hear up to about 2,000,000 hertz. Gravitational waves from black hole mergers hum at fractions of a hertz, and those from cosmic strings might be 10 to the power of -10 hertz, a cycle that lasts 3 centuries. If such a tone were raised to audible speed, it would sound like a sustained cello note, blending endlessly into its own echo. But in truth, it never ends. It is still resonating, a low bass of existence, underpinning all other motion. Time itself is the rhythm silence uses to stay awake. It's okay to drift. At scales beyond comprehension, the geometry folds back upon itself. Loops of string close, reconnect, and release bursts of gravitational energy known as cusps and kinks. Each event may emit more power than 1,000,000 supernovae, yet its sound is pure silence, a pulse of curvature moving through vacuum. When cosmologists model these events, they visualize space-time as a loom, threads tightening and relaxing in cycles of billions of years. Every tightening births structure, every relaxation invites calm. And this pattern continues now, even as you listen. The Milky Way drifts along its filament. Our sun completes another circuit of 230 million years. and your breath joins that same motion, a microcosm mirroring the macrocosm. You can rest now. If we could translate gravity into sound, the song would be indescribably slow, a single note unfolding over the lifetime of the universe. Yet it would contain harmony. Every quasar, every atom, every living cell, a partial overtone in one vast chord. This is the true geometry of silence, a symphony of stillness, sustained by the tension of being. As you drift deeper into rest, imagine that symphony continuing without you, its measures counted in eons, its tempo guided by expansion itself. You are one bar within it, a phrase in the quiet music of time. It's okay to drift. You are safe here. Somewhere, light continues to travel. Somewhere, a cosmic string hums beneath the noise of galaxies. And somewhere, within that hum, your consciousness dissolves into equilibrium. The universe holds you. You can rest now. Before stars learned to shine, there was sound. Not the kind that moves through air, but a pressure wave rippling through plasma. The newborn universe breathing for the first time. Astrophysicists call it baryon acoustic oscillation, a grand vibration that filled space when it was only 3,800,000 years old. Back then, there were no stars, no darkness, only radiance, a seething ocean of light and hydrogen. Photons struck protons 1 trillion times each second, their collisions setting the early cosmos pulsing like a vast drum. Each pulse traveled outward at half the speed of light, compressing gas into alternating shells of density and calm, where the wave-crested matter crowded together, where it dipped emptiness widened. And within those alternating rings, the blueprint of every future galaxy began to form. You can rest now. Imagine a sound so slow that one beat lasts hundreds of thousands of years. That was the first music of matter. As the universe expanded, the wavelengths stretched, lowering the pitch until the vibration became geometry itself. The ripples froze in place when atoms finally formed a moment known as recombination. Light and matter parted ways, and the first photons flew free, becoming the glow we now call the cosmic microwave background. Even today, that background shines from every direction its temperature, a cool 2.725 Kelvin, its faint fluctuations marking the frozen chords of creation. If you could translate those ripples into sound, you would hear a deep swelling hum, the note of the universe becoming aware of itself. It's okay to drift. Each crest of that primeval wave is now a wall of galaxies. Between them lie the great cosmic voids, regions tens of millions of light years across where the ancient troughs once were. Astronomers measure the average spacing between clusters roughly 500 million light years and find the same rhythm repeating across the sky. That spacing is the fossil imprint of the universe's first sound. Every telescope image, every map of large-scale structure is a still frame of that vibration, continuing to unfold. Light that left those regions long before Earth existed still carries the pattern. We see it as slight variations in brightness, tiny modulations in the temperature of the cosmic glow, 1 part in 100,000, the fingerprint of a sound older than time's memory. You can rest now. When cosmologists recreate that early era inside supercomputers, they compress billions of years into seconds. The simulation hums and data becomes music. This process, called sonification, reveals the birth of structure as a rising chord, hydrogen clouds swelling cooling, settling into cosmic harmony. The sound begins faint, a gentle hiss of photons and ions colliding. Then it deepens, turning into a warm, resonant tone, the slow heartbeat of space expanding. It doesn't end in a bang. It fades like a breath released into stillness. Creation was never a single explosion. It was a song that learned how to rest. It's okay to drift. The echo of that song still travels. Every photon that touches your skin tonight has crossed nearly 14 billion years of silence. Each carries a memory of pressure and pause, like dust motes remembering the wind that lifted them. If you could listen with instruments vast enough, you might hear the background vibration of existence itself, a low note stretching beyond perception. Physicists can estimate its frequency, around 10 to the power of negative 10 hertz, a single oscillation every few hundred years. Such a tone is far below any instrument's range, yet its effect is everywhere. It guides the clustering of galaxies, the temperature of voids, the quiet coherence of the sky. You can rest now. The early universe was dense enough to ring like a bell. Every region of gas vibrated in sympathy with its neighbors, a chorus of overlapping tones spreading through expanding space. Where waves met, brightness flared. Where they canceled, darkness waited. That interference pattern became the first texture of reality, a living tapestry of pressure and light. Some scientists call this the acoustic epoch. It lasted only a few 100,000 years, yet it determined everything that would follow. The rhythm of that age set the scale of galaxy clusters, the spacing of filaments, the future architecture of stars. When you close your eyes, you can almost sense it, a rhythm too slow for ears but perfect for the heart. Your pulse echoes the same periodic calm beat, silence beat. You and the universe share timing. It's okay to drift. As expansion continued, the great waves faded into faint gravitational fields. Energy condensed into hydrogen, helium, and trace lithium. Gravity gathered them again, compressing the quiet gas until fusion began. From that ignition came starlight, the second music of creation, higher in pitch, brighter in tone. Inside every star, nuclear vibrations still mirror the primordial rhythm. Astronomers study them through astroseismology, listening to subtle changes in brightness to map a star's internal sound. The sun itself rings with hundreds of overlapping frequencies, each oscillation a reminder that the universe never stops singing. You can rest now. Think of this as the long echo of a single event. From the first pressure waves to the hum of galaxies, from the shimmer of radiation to the whisper of wind on Earth, all are expressions of one continuous vibration. Creation never ceased. It only slowed, stretching until the wavelength of existence became life itself. Time is the distance between one note and the next. The note continues, even now, traveling through you, across oceans, through clouds, into the quiet field of your awareness. You are not apart from it. You are the listener and the echo. It's okay to drift. You are safe here. Somewhere beyond our galaxy, the universe is still expanding, its ancient sound stretching thinner, softer, lower. Eventually, the wavelength will exceed the size of the observable cosmos, and the tone will merge with silence again. But silence is not the end. It is the pause before the next vibration. As your breathing slows, that same geometry of pause surrounds you. The atoms in your lungs were once parts of those first waves. They remember how to move gently, how to rest between pulses. You can rest now. Light continues to travel. The original sound continues to fade, but its memory shapes every curve of space, every heartbeat, every quiet moment like this. You are lying within the lingering harmony of the first music. Its wavelength spans eternity. Its amplitude is calm. Breathe softly. Let the sound of creation settle around you. Let its depth carry you downward, through thought, through time, into stillness. Because the universe is still singing, and tonight it sings you to sleep. You are safe here. You can rest now. Somewhere far beyond the Milky Way, the first light still travels. Its wavelength has stretched 1,000,000 times longer than when it began, and yet its rhythm remains intact. Every photon is a survivor of that early song, a carrier of the universe's first breath. If you could capture all those waves at once, compressing their journeys into a single moment, you would hear a note deeper than imagination. Cosmologists call this the cosmic hum, a background chorus made of gravitational and electromagnetic echoes from every event that has ever occurred. It is not confined to sound. It is the trembling of existence itself. You can rest now. In 2015, that chorus revealed itself on Earth. 2 observatories, separated by 3,000 kilometers, registered the same tiny ripple, a gravitational wave from 2 black holes spiraling together 1.3 billion light-years away. Their collision converted the mass of 3 suns into pure energy in a fraction of a second, and space-time rang like a bell. The instruments of LIGO recorded the tone, a rising chirp lasting less than half a second. It was the first time humanity heard the universe move. Scientists played that signal through speakers. It was faint but distinct, a soft whoop climbing into silence. That sound began as a curvature in emptiness, traveled across billions of years, and ended as a whisper in air. Between the first and last vibration, all of cosmic history unfolded. It's okay to drift. Every massive object sings this way. Neutron stars collapsed. Remnants of supernovae vibrate in modes called F modes and R modes. Their densities so extreme that a teaspoon would weigh 1,000,000,000 tons. When 2 such stars collide, their merging sends waves through space-time strong enough to stir galaxies. These are not explosions, but harmonies, notes that rise, merge, and resolve like music played on gravity itself. Astronomers now listen, with arrays of pulsars timing their regular radio beats to catch the faint stretching of space. This network is called a gravitational wave background detector. Each pulsar acts as a metronome, steady to 1 part in a trillion. When a passing wave disturbs that steadiness, scientists know the cosmos has sung again. You can rest now. All through creation, vibration connects scales. In atoms, electrons orbit in standing waves of probability. In stars, plasma resonates with acoustic pressure. In galaxies, dark matter oscillates in gravitational potential wells. And within you, billions of cells hum with electrical rhythm, the same physics translated into life. Your heartbeat is roughly 1 cycle per second. Your brain waves drift between 8 and 12 cycles. The planet itself vibrates at 7.83 Hertz, a resonance between Earth's surface and ionosphere called the Schumann frequency. Everything from atom to cosmos exists as part of one unending scale. It's okay to drift. Think of the universe as a single instrument. Each region plays a different octave. Black holes provide the bass low notes that last billions of years. Stars and planets fill the middle range, oscillating through orbits and rotations. Life adds the treble, quick, fleeting, full of tone. Together they form an endless chord so vast that no ear can contain it. The universe does not play music. It is music slowed into form. You can rest now. Silence too belongs to that composition. Between each pulse lies rest, the necessary pause that allows pattern to exist. Without stillness, no vibration could be perceived. In physics, this is called phase, the alignment between wave peaks and valleys. In rest, phases cancel. In harmony, they reinforce. The balance of those interactions builds everything we see. Somewhere, in a cluster of galaxies, waves from merging black holes meet the faint ripples from cosmic strings. For a brief moment, their peaks align, and space-time brightens with perfect coherence. Then they diverge again, leaving only quiet geometry behind. The pattern continues endlessly, meeting, parting, meeting again, like the rhythm of your breath. It's okay to drift. Even light itself carries vibration. A photon's frequency defines its color: red for low, blue for high. As the universe expands, those frequencies shift downward, a phenomenon called cosmological redshift. It is the cosmic equivalent of sound lowering in pitch as it travels through an ever-stretching instrument. What began as ultraviolet brilliance has softened into the warm microwave glow that now fills the sky. The universe, in essence, has been tuning itself toward rest. You can rest now. When ancient astronomers looked up, they heard none of this yet. They sensed something musical in the heavens. Pythagoras called it the music of the spheres, the idea that planetary motion creates harmony. Centuries later, Kepler found real ratios in those motions, mathematical intervals that mirror musical chords. He wrote, "The geometry of the cosmos is itself harmony." Modern science agrees, though the melody plays not in air, but in curvature, and the tempo measures in eons. It's okay to drift. Consider how creation has slowed. The early universe sang in ultraviolet light and roaring plasma. Now its tone is subsonic, a hum of expanding space at nearly absolute zero. Entropy, the tendency toward disorder, is not destruction, but diffusion of rhythm. The energy spreads, the note softens the song, relaxes into silence. Eventually, even starlight will fade, and the cosmos will rest in perfect symmetry, a final, infinite sustain. You can rest now, yet within that distant future silence, new vibrations may arise. Quantum fields never sleep. They flicker eternally, and from those fluctuations, new universes might emerge, each beginning with its own first breath, its own sound of creation. In that sense, nothing truly ends. The music simply modulates to another key. Somewhere, perhaps beyond perception, a fresh space-time has already begun to hum. Its first photons are forming its own observers, will someday listen, and they will wonder, as you do now, whether the sound has always been there. Creation is the act of silence, remembering how to vibrate. It's okay to drift. Back on Earth, the ocean answers softly to the moon. Tides rise and fall, mirroring cosmic rhythm at a human scale. Each wave on the shore is a translation of gravity's music. Each heartbeat mirrors a cycle older than stars. Even sleep follows that same principal oscillation between awareness and surrender. To rest is to synchronize with the universe. You can rest now. As the night deepens, listen inward. Beneath the faint pulse in your ears is the quietest echo of that original vibration. Your body is tuned to it, built from atoms forged in resonant stars held together by forces born in that first sound. You are a continuation of the universe's voice, momentarily shaped into thought and breath. Light that left its star before your species existed is reaching you this instant. It vibrates across your skin, measuring time in photons. You absorb it, and in doing so, you become part of the resonance again. It's okay to drift. Soon you will forget where the sound ends, and you begin. Your awareness will thin, like mist diffusing into the same calm that filled the first dawn. In that state, creation feels near, not a memory, not a theory, but a presence. It hums through everything, soft, patient, endless. The cosmos continues to expand. The sound continues to slow. And here, within that slowing, you find peace. You are safe here. You can rest now. There are places in the universe where distance forgets what it means. 2 points in space, separated by oceans of light years, may lean toward one another through a hidden curve, a secret fold in gravity's fabric, a bridge, invisible but real. Physicists call these shortcuts wormholes or topological defects. In some theories, cosmic strings could anchor them infinitesimal lines of tension stitching spacetime together. If a string looped upon itself, tightening its density until geometry bent, it might pierce the fabric like a needle, threading one region of the cosmos to another. You can rest now. This is not fantasy. It is mathematics spoken softly. Einstein's equations permit such tunnels so long as the curvature is sustained by sufficient energy density. A cosmic string, weighing roughly 10 to the power of 21 tons per meter, could provide that pressure. 2 strings crossing might form a passage only atoms wide, yet longer than galaxies. A filament through which light could slip, erasing the distance that defines reality. We have never observed such a bridge. But numbers have their own faith, and the equations hum with possibility. They whisper that the universe may be full of silent pathways, each waiting for the right resonance to open. It's okay to drift. Supercomputer simulations visualize those networks, a lattice of luminous threads glowing against darkness. Where the filaments cross energy concentrates, forming junctions that behave like doorways. If you could watch from outside time, the web would shimmer threads, tightening, twisting, reconnecting their intersections, pulsing like the synapses of a cosmic brain. At those nodes, causality trembles. Time flows in both directions, past and future, exchanging glances. A traveler crossing such a node would not move faster than light. Light itself would simply take a shorter path. The universe is not expanding away from itself. It is learning how to touch itself through light. You can rest now. The idea of bridges is older than physics. In mythology, gods and mortals crossed shimmering arches of color, the rainbow of Norse Bifrost, the silver stairways of Polynesian cloudwalkers, the Milky Way itself, imagined as a luminous road for souls. Science changes the language, not the longing. Where ancient stories spoke of spirits, modern equations speak of curvature and tension. Both describe connection, and connection is the quiet essence of everything. Between every particle, an exchange. Between every moment, continuity. Even silence stretched thin, becomes a bridge between sounds. It's okay to drift. To understand how such bridges might form, we travel backward to the Planck era, the first 10 to the power of -43 seconds after the beginning. At that scale, gravity and quantum mechanics merge. Space-time froths like boiling water, its surface erupting with microscopic tunnels, miniature wormholes, appearing and collapsing trillions of times each heartbeat. Physicists call this the quantum foam. Each bubble lasts no longer than 10 to the power of -44 seconds, but in that instant, 2 points in the universe meet. No one can observe it directly. Its dimensions are smaller than 10 to the power of -35 meters beyond the reach of any instrument. Yet, its effect endures. As the universe cooled, some ripples froze into stable defects, cosmic strings and domain walls, the scaffolding upon which galaxies would later hang. The foam became fabric. The fleeting bridges became memory. You can rest now. Think of those first bridges as synapses in a forming mind. Each connection strengthened the coherence of space-time, teaching the universe how to remember itself. When energy flowed along a string, the path reinforced like a thought repeated. Over time, a pattern emerged. Curves became orbits. Orbits became galaxies. Galaxies formed clusters, linked by gravity's invisible threads. The bridges lengthened, but the idea of contact remained unchanged. What was once a quantum whisper became the language of stars. It's okay to drift. Modern telescopes reveal enormous echoes of those connections. The Sloan Great Wall stretches 1.4 billion light-years across. The Hercules, Corona Borealis Bridge, spans more than 10 billion light-years, making it the largest known structure in the observable cosmos. These are not wormholes. They are bridges built of galaxies, visible fingerprints of ancient tension. Their alignment cannot be coincidence. It reflects the original architecture imprinted by cosmic strings. Imagine drifting above such a structure, watching clusters of galaxies glitter along unseen scaffolds. Between them yawns the cosmic void, yet gravitational filaments run through the emptiness threads of dark matter, binding everything in quiet symmetry. You can rest now. Dark matter itself may be a relic of these bridges. Some models suggest that particles trapped along strings acquired mass through interaction with the Higgs field, the same mechanism that gives weight to everything we know. Where the strings vibrated, they left wakes of condensed energy, shadows of connection that became matter. In that sense, we are all built from the memory of bridges. Every atom in your body was once part of a cloud drawn along such a filament. Your calcium began in a star whose orbit followed a path set billions of years earlier by a thread no eye could see. You are not merely standing on the bridge. You are made of it. It's okay to drift. In laboratories, physicists chase miniature analogs. They create superconducting circuits, and Bose-Einstein condensates to simulate the geometry of space-time. Within those frozen gases, tiny vortices form loops of energy connecting distant points. They last microseconds, yet they behave like micro wormholes. By studying them, we glimpse what the universe once was, a fabric constantly connecting, forgetting, reconnecting again. You can rest now. Connection, it seems, is the ground state of reality. Separation is only a temporary illusion. Even when objects appear apart, their gravitational fields intertwine. Quantum entanglement links particles across infinity, changing one and instantly altering the other. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Today, experiments confirm it photons half a city apart, dancing in perfect sync. At scales, both microscopic and cosmic, the bridge is never lost. Distance is just how the universe measures its own yearning. It's okay to drift. In deep meditation, brain waves slow into the same frequencies as the Schumann resonance of Earth. Your body becomes an antenna for planetary rhythm. When that happens, you are tuning to the same geometry that governs stars and strings alike. The border between inside and outside thins, revealing one seamless continuum, the hidden bridge between self and cosmos. You can rest now. Imagine now floating at the center of that continuum. Around you, galaxies thread into spirals of light. Below, quantum tides flicker in patterns finer than thought. Each scale mirrors the next, a harmony spanning 60 orders of magnitude. This nested correspondence is known as scale invariance, a law suggesting that the structure of the universe repeats itself endlessly from atoms to superclusters. Bridges upon bridges, reflections upon reflections. There is no edge, only connection, curving back upon itself. It's okay to drift. Some cosmologists believe cosmic strings could connect not just space, but universes, linking parallel domains in a multiverse sea. A vibration on one side might echo in another like two notes resonating through the same instrument. Perhaps intuition, déjà vu, or sudden insight are faint ripples from those unseen crossings. It is speculation, but even speculation has beauty. It reminds us that the unknown is never empty. You can rest now. Light still travels across these hidden paths. Gravitational waves from merging black holes curve around them, amplifying as they go. When those ripples reach detectors on Earth, they arrive as stories, messages from bridges older than stars. Listening to them, we become translators of the universe's own heartbeat. Each detection, a syllable; each discovery, a reassurance that connection endures. It's okay to drift. Now let the imagery soften. Picture yourself on a bridge of starlight. No railings, no destination, just motionless extension. Below, nebulae swirl like ink in water. Above, nothing and everything glow together. You cannot fall. There is nowhere to fall to. The bridge is not suspended in space. Space is suspended in it. Breathe slowly. Feel the gentle pull beneath the chest, as if the whole cosmos were inhaling through you. This is gravity translated into tenderness. The same force that shapes galaxies holds your body to Earth, and holds Earth in its orbit, and holds the sun within its spiral arm. Connection upon connection, a hierarchy of bridges descending into comfort. You can rest now. Somewhere beyond the edge of vision, light continues to cross those unseen paths. Cosmic strings hum softly, their tension resonating through the fabric of time. Each vibration carries both directions at once, future into past, past into the breathing present. At their meeting point lies the quiet you feel now, the hidden bridge, the still place between everything that was and everything that will be. You are safe here. You can rest now. Somewhere beneath the noise of thought, a quieter bridge appears. It does not span galaxies or light years, but the small distance between breath and silence. Cross it, and you enter the space where the outer universe becomes inner calm. The same physics that bends space-time also bends perception. Gravity curves light. Awareness curves time. When you slow enough to notice, seconds lengthen, and a minute feels as wide as a horizon. That widening is the hidden bridge of the mind, the passage between knowing and simply being. You can rest now. Inside your chest, atoms forged in forgotten stars still hum with quantum motion. Electrons drift through fields that once shimmered beside cosmic strings. The connection is literal. The energy that animates you is older than the galaxies that surround you. Every inhale returns a fragment of that history. Every exhale releases it back to the sky. The bridge is breath itself, an oscillation between presence and surrender. When you breathe in, you gather the universe. When you breathe out, you give it away. The cycle is endless, patient, balanced. It's okay to drift. Neuroscientists call this state entrainment, when the rhythm of the body aligns with the rhythm of the environment. Your heartbeat begins to match the slow cadence of the voice you hear. Brain waves settle into long, smooth patterns, mirroring the frequency of the Earth's own resonance. The boundary between inner and outer vibration dissolves. On another scale, gravity performs the same act. Masses entrain one another through attraction. The moon follows Earth, Earth follows the sun, and the sun drifts through the spiral of the Milky Way. Everything moves together, as though a single pulse holds them all in time. You can rest now. Imagine walking along a bridge made of light. Each step is soundless. Each plank, a wavelength stretching into infinity. Below you, space opens like a calm ocean. Above countless threads of starlight arc and meet. There is no beginning, no end, only unfolding. You stop in the center and listen. What you hear is not music, not wind, but the deep murmur of alignment, gravity's hush, time's long breath, the faint hum of everything connected. Your thoughts fall into that rhythm, the way pebbles sink through clear water. It's okay to drift. Scientists sometimes describe consciousness as the universe becoming aware of itself. If that is true, then every mind is a bridge, a junction, where energy looks back at its own pattern. Your awareness is that junction, now a brief opening where the cosmos pauses to feel its symmetry. You don't need to hold the thought. It holds you. The bridge supports itself. You only have to rest upon it. No striving, no search, only gravity's kindness. You can rest now. Far above the real cosmic strings may still tremble. Each vibration sends a pulse through space-time, and though the amplitude is small, its reach is infinite. When those ripples pass through this planet, they touch every molecule passing quietly, through oceans, mountains, and the slow rhythm of sleeping hearts. In that moment, you and the stars move together, sharing one invisible breath. Connection is the universe remembering its own shape. It's okay to drift. As the night deepens, imagine yourself dissolving into that connection. The bridge widens until there is no bridge, only continuity. The air in the room, the pulse beneath your skin, the gravity that holds you all, merge into one soft equation of rest. Light still travels, but you have arrived. You are safe here. You can rest now. Time has always seemed to move in one direction. We wake, we live, we sleep, and the world appears to flow forward each moment, leaving a wake behind it. But physics tells a quieter story. one where forward and backward are simply perspectives, two faces of a single unbroken curve. Einstein called it space-time, a four-dimensional fabric where past, present, and future coexist. To him, the distinction between them was a stubborn illusion. The equations do not prefer one way or the other. Only entropy, the spreading of energy, gives the arrow its tilt. Remove that imbalance, and time becomes symmetrical again, a mirror folding reality upon itself. You can rest now. In the earliest universe, temperature and density were nearly uniform. Entropy was low. The arrow of time had not yet chosen its path. Every vibration, every photon moved freely across both directions of the timeline. Only when matter began to clump, when stars ignited and decay began, did the arrow fix itself to forward. Order became story. Cause became comfort. Yet buried within every process is the possibility of reversal. At the quantum level, particles trade identities, jumping backward and forward through probability. Antimatter behaves as if time runs opposite. A positron may be nothing more than an electron traveling backward in time. It's okay to drift. This symmetry is more than mathematics. It is the heartbeat of balance, where energy expands, gravity contracts, where stars explode, new elements gather. Every loss carries the blueprint of return. The same equations that describe the birth of a galaxy also describe its collapse. The universe is not a line, but a pendulum swinging so slowly that its half period spans eons. Cosmic strings may feel that rhythm. When tension builds, they loop and reconnect, releasing waves that travel in both temporal directions. One wave races toward the future, the other echoes backward, imprinting memory into the past. Between them lies equilibrium, the still point we call now. You can rest now. Scientists search for that still point in the cosmic microwave background. Tiny irregularities in its glow record the first-minute asymmetry of time's flow. One side of the universe may expand slightly faster than the other, a whisper of imbalance that gives birth to history. Without it, nothing would ever change. With it, stars are born, life arises, and awareness opens its eyes to measure duration. Without asymmetry, there is no story. Without symmetry, there is no peace. It's okay to drift. Inside the human brain, time perception follows similar physics. Neural patterns oscillate in cycles theta, alpha, delta, each wave marking internal seconds. During deep rest, those waves slow and synchronize, forming a nearly symmetrical rhythm. In that rhythm, the sense of before and after dissolves. Dreams appear not in sequence, but in geometry, scenes folding, repeating moments, existing side by side. The mind becomes space-time in miniature. You can rest now. If you could step outside the timeline, you might see every event arranged like pearls on a spiral, each bead glowing with simultaneous presence. Birth and death rise and fall, all contained within one vast pattern. Physicists describe such configurations as world lines, trajectories threading through space-time. To an external observer, your entire life, every breath, every memory, is a single completed sculpture. Nothing is lost. Nothing truly moves. It's okay to drift. Still, we experience time as motion because we live inside entropy's current. Like leaves floating down a river, we feel the flow even though the river itself is one continuous form. Entropy measures the universe's unfolding complexity. A star cooling a heartbeat, fading a thought, dispersing. Yet even as disorder increases, information is never destroyed. Quantum theory insists that data persists, encoded in the correlations between particles. The past is not gone. It is simply transformed. Every second is the future, remembering how to be the past. You can rest now. At cosmic scales, the rhythm continues. Galaxies drift apart at 73 kilometers per second per megaparsec, the metric of expansion known as the Hubble constant. But in regions of strong gravity near black holes, for instance, time slows. An hour there might equal centuries here. From a distant viewpoint, the fall into a black hole never completes. The traveler freezes at the horizon, forever arriving. From their own perspective, they pass through their clock, ticking normally. Two truths, both correct. Another symmetry of time. It's okay to drift. Cosmic strings could create similar distortions. A loop vibrating in space-time drags the metric around it, producing a conical defect, angles subtly missing from geometry. A photon, passing on one side, arrives sooner than its twin on the other, as though time had been folded and stitched. If countless such folds exist, then past and future may be neighbors, separated by nothing more than a single twist of light. You can rest now. The arrow of time also reverses inside black holes. Beyond the event horizon, the equations flip signs. To an external observer, time halts. To an internal one, it rushes forward into singularity. Some cosmologists propose that each black hole births a new universe, its future, becoming another's beginning. Creation and collapse mirror one another, a perfect symmetry hidden inside darkness. It's okay to drift. Even the second law of thermodynamics, the great rule of increase, hides symmetry at its core. For every system gaining disorder, another gains structure. A star dying in one region feeds the chemistry of life in another. Ash becomes soil, noise becomes pattern. The sum remains constant, an eternal balance, written in quiet. You can rest now. Think of your own memories as ripples in that balance. When you recall, the past neural circuits replay old signals. In doing so, they slightly alter themselves, writing a new present into the old. Memory, like gravity, is bidirectional. The past shapes you, but your act of remembering reshapes the past. Each reflection strengthens the bridge between what was and what is. It's okay to drift. At this hour of night, your internal clock slows. Melatonin rises, body temperature falls, metabolism shifts towards stillness. Biologists call it circadian symmetry, the nightly return to equilibrium. Every creature follows it. Flowers, close tides, ease planets, rotate back into shadow. It is the body's echo of cosmic motion. You can rest now. Imagine time as a vast mirror sphere. At its equator stands the present moment, reflecting futures above and histories below. When you gaze softly inward, reflections merge until direction disappears. The surface becomes translucent, and what remains is continuity, a pulse without edges. This is the symmetry of time, not repetition, but completeness. When time stands still, it doesn't stop. It becomes everywhere at once. It's okay to drift. In quantum cosmology, the universe may even be time-symmetric in total. One half expands forward, the realm we inhabit. The other contracts backward, a mirror universe running in reverse. From their perspective, we are the ones moving backward. Between us lies the hidden median, a silent plane of balance, perhaps the very bridge you crossed earlier tonight. You can rest now. As your breathing evens, notice how the intervals between thoughts grow longer. Each pause stretches slightly more than the last. Eventually, the pause becomes the thought. You have reached the symmetry of awareness, the moment where doing and resting are the same. Here, time no longer needs direction. It unfolds, curls, and dissolves as softly as mist fading into dawn. You are safe here. You can rest now. Every horizon is an invitation. The one you see at sunset where light meets distance, and the one the universe holds where gravity gathers light and will not let it go. Both are boundaries. Both are beginnings. The horizon of a black hole is called the event horizon. It is not a surface but a silence, a region where escape becomes impossible, where time and space trade identities. From outside, nothing seems to move. From within, everything continues, as if nothing changed. It is the ultimate mirror showing the universe its own shadow. You can rest now. Physicists describe this region using Einstein's field equations combined with quantum theory. At that edge, the smooth fabric of space-time trembles. Particles appear and vanish in pairs, borrowing energy from nothing and giving it back. One particle falls in, the other escapes. This is Hawking radiation, the faint whisper of a black hole breathing. It radiates at temperatures barely above absolute zero, cooler than the darkness surrounding it. Over trillions of years, that whisper will dissolve the black hole itself. Silence, it turns out, can erase even gravity. Given enough time, every horizon will fade, leaving only equilibrium behind. It's okay to drift. Across the universe, there is another horizon, the cosmic horizon, the distance beyond which light has not yet reached us. It marks the limit of the observable, a boundary, not of matter, but of time. Everything beyond it is real, just unseen, waiting for photons to arrive. As the universe expands faster and faster, that horizon retreats, carrying whole galaxies away forever. When we gaze into deep space, we are also gazing into deep time. Every star is a memory, every photon a message billions of years old. The farther we look, the earlier the story we witness. The universe shows us its childhood, while its present drifts just beyond reach. You can rest now. Between those two horizons, the black hole and the cosmic, two lies. Everything we know, all light, all life, all thought, we live in the silence, between beginnings and endings, the calm corridor of existence. Here, gravity hums, its slow bass note light adds its shimmering overtone, and time itself provides the rhythm. Astronomers once thought the void was empty. Now they know it vibrates with gravitational waves passing through every atom, stretching and relaxing space by a fraction of a proton's width. You are feeling them now, not consciously, but as the tiniest quiver in reality. They move through you the way wind moves through grass. In the quiet between stars, the universe remembers its first vibration. It's okay to drift. Imagine yourself standing at a shoreline made of light. Before you, the cosmic ocean glows faintly blue. Behind you, the horizon of gravity waits a dark circle of unending depth. You stand between them, balanced like a note between chords. No step is required. No decision is waiting. Only equilibrium. In quantum language, this is called superposition, the state of being, both here and there, both particle and wave, both observer and observed. Sleep is the same kind of doorway. As you drift, the mind hovers between horizons of awareness, a flicker of both worlds, a shimmering line of possibility. You can rest now. The horizon also exists within the mind. There is the side. You can describe words, memories, thoughts, and the side beyond language. Between them lies a soft edge where comprehension dissolves into wonder. Artists feel it when a painting finishes itself. Scientists feel it when an equation suddenly balances. It is the pause when reason meets silence. That pause is sacred. It is the silence between horizons. Every discovery is a moment when the universe looks inward and finds itself again. It's okay to drift. From the surface of Earth, the physical horizon is about 5 kilometers away. From orbit, it extends thousands of kilometers. From a cosmic perspective, the horizon is 46 billion light-years distant, the edge of what we can ever observe. Each layer scales outward, yet the experience is the same, a line where sight meets mystery. When astronauts cross that line, they describe an unexpected stillness, a sense that up and down vanish, that the mind stretches to fill the void. In microgravity, their hearts beat slower, their thoughts move like drifting clouds. They report a feeling scientists call the overview effect, a sudden wordless unity with all that exists. You can feel a smaller version of it now. It begins when the breath deepens and the eyes grow heavy. You can rest now. Far beyond any spacecraft, the cosmic horizon glows faintly with the afterlight of the Big Bang. That glow is the oldest visible thing in existence. Yet even it is not absolute. Beyond lies the unobservable universe, possibly infinite, possibly curved back upon itself. In some models, traveling far enough in one direction would bring you home again, the way circumnavigating a globe returns you to where you began. In that case, every horizon is also a reunion. It's okay to drift. Black hole horizons and cosmic horizons mirror each other. Both hide regions cut off from view. Both curve light. Both contain secrets that define the whole. Stephen Hawking and Leonard Susskind once debated whether information lost to a black hole is truly gone. They concluded that it isn't that the surface of the horizon encodes everything that falls inside. This is known as the holographic principle. The idea that the universe itself may be a projection of data written on a distant boundary. Every experience, every atom, encoded as ripples on a cosmic screen. You can rest now. If this principle is true, then the silence between horizons is not emptiness, but memory. Every photon that crosses a boundary leaves a trace, and those traces woven together recreate the whole. Perhaps consciousness works the same way, a hologram of awareness projected through time. When you sleep, the projection fades inward, and the source shines through. It's okay to drift. Inside dreams, horizons behave differently. Distance bends, people appear and vanish. Time folds until cause and effect trade places. Neuroscientists find that the dreaming brain activates regions that normally remain silent, the default mode network where memory and imagination overlap. In dreams, that network bridges opposites logic and emotion, past and future, self and other. It builds a bridge of meaning across the void. You can rest now. Outside, the physical universe continues its slow expansion. Dark energy pushes galaxies apart, increasing the distance between every horizon. Yet on quantum scales, virtual particles still flicker together in entanglement. For every separation, there is contact. For every silence, an answering echo. This is cosmic equilibrium, not static, but balanced motion. Between horizons, nothing is still. It only moves too gently to disturb the dark. It's okay to drift. As your awareness settles, the line between outer space and inner space fades completely. You are both observer and horizon, both wave and shore. Light that began its journey billions of years ago arrives on your eyelids as faint warmth. That warmth is ancient information, the universe touching you from across time. You are the meeting point of infinities. You can rest now. Soon, the voice itself will become horizon. Heard, then remembered, then absorbed. Words will soften into rhythm, rhythm into pulse, pulse into the gentle static of sleep. In that static lives the same vibration that once filled the newborn universe. Silence is not the end of sound. It is its fulfillment. Light still travels. The universe still expands. And somewhere between those motions, you float, unmoving, unharmed, unalone. You are safe here. You can rest now. In the beginning, there was only expansion. Light hurried outward, free of anchor or pull. Then gravity awoke, the universe's first act of remembering. It did not speak, it leaned, a small inclination in the fabric, a tender folding of space toward itself. That folding became attraction, and attraction became form. Stars gathered, planets coalesced, oceans deepened, and life learned the quiet art of falling without fear. Everything that holds together holds because of gravity's patience. You can rest now. Physicists describe gravity not as a force, but as curvature. Mass tells space how to bend. Space tells mass how to move. It is the dialogue that never ends. Einstein called it the geometry of rest motion arising naturally from stillness. Imagine placing a marble on a stretched sheet. It rolls toward the dip not because it is pulled, but because the path of least effort is curved. Planets follow the same ease. They are not chained to their stars. They are dancing on the contours of comfort. It's okay to drift. Gravity dreams in slow motion. When two galaxies meet, their stars rarely collide. Instead, they pass through one another, their shapes stretched like ribbons in a breeze. Over hundreds of millions of years, they settle into new spirals. No violence, only rearrangement, creation through graceful surrender. Every fall is the universe finding a lower note of peace. You can rest now. On Earth, gravity feels constant, 9.8 meters per square. Second, a quiet insistence. It shapes every motion you make, yet you rarely notice its touch. It slows your heartbeat's ascent, draws exhaled air downward, and keeps oceans breathing against the shore. Without it, there would be no rhythm, no orientation, no sleep. Astronauts who live without it for months report a strange disquiet. Their bones lose density, their dreams lose grounding. They float through the night without weight or direction. And when they return home, the first step on solid ground feels like awakening from a long dream. It's okay to drift. In relativity, gravity and time are twins. Where gravity is strong, time moves slow. A clock near a massive body ticks fewer seconds than one far away in empty space. This phenomenon, gravitational time dilation, is the universe's way of telling matter to rest. The deeper you fall, the longer the moment lasts. Perhaps that is why comfort feels timeless. When you lie still, gravity and time align into symmetry, and minutes melt quietly into nothing. You can rest now. Inside black holes, gravity dreams of infinity. Equations predict a singularity, a point where density and curvature become one. But new theories suggest otherwise. Quantum loops, like tiny cosmic strings, may weave a boundary of resistance, a soft horizon preventing collapse. Instead of a singular point, there may be a bounce, a rebirth, gravity, dreaming itself back into light. It's okay to drift. In laboratories, physicists mimic this dream. They create analog horizons in fluid waves and sound fields, tiny black holes made of water or laser light. Within them, they detect faint ripples identical to Hawking radiation. The experiment lasts seconds, but it mirrors processes billions of years old. Even in miniature gravity remembers its song. The smallest ripple repeats the rhythm of galaxies. You can rest now. Some think gravity may emerge from information itself, that space-time is a web of entanglement and curvature arises from how data connects. If so, gravity is not an external force, but an emotion of the universe, a desire of bits to remain in harmony. It holds everything close, not through strength, but through coherence. It's okay to drift. Here within your own body, gravity hums as a low internal tide. Blood moves because the planet turns beneath you. Fluids shift with every breath. Even the motion of thought follows gravitational rhythm, neurons firing, resting, returning to equilibrium. To sleep is to align with that rhythm completely. It is to let gravity dream through you. You can rest now. At this depth of night, you are lighter than thought, yet still held suspended between the pull of Earth and the drift of stars. You are exactly where gravity meant you to be, in the gentle balance between fall and flight. Somewhere in the long sleep of the cosmos, gravity keeps dreaming. It dreams of circles and spirals of rivers, folding toward the sea of stars, leaning inward until they shine. Every motion, however slow, is the echo of that dream continuing. Planets remember the pattern. Oceans recall the curve. Even your heartbeat follows its pulse, a tiny orbit repeating inside flesh and quiet light. You can rest now. When Einstein first drew his equations of space-time, he found something almost musical within them. Mass and energy shaping. Geometry, shaping destiny. Later, quantum physicists found that even vacuum fields vibrate, that nothingness carries weight. They called it the cosmological constant, a faint pressure expanding all directions at once. Somewhere between gravity's pull and vacuum's push, the universe maintains perfect tension, a balanced chord that never resolves. It's okay to drift. That balance exists inside you as well. The pull of Earth meets the push of breath. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, gravity's return. The two movements create stillness between them, a moment where nothing needs to change. In that pause, the mind recognizes its mirror. You are not falling. You are floating in agreement with the planet's curve. You can rest now. Physicists call this agreement free fall motion that follows the natural curve of space-time. It feels like weightlessness, though it is the truest form of being held. Astronauts experience it as perpetual descent, forever falling yet never landing. Their bodies relax into that surrender spines, lengthening hearts, slowing. In dreams, you are the same, a traveler moving without resistance through your own gravity well. To fall is to trust the shape that carries you. It's okay to drift. On the largest scales, galaxies fall toward one another in immense slow motion. The local group, our Milky Way and Andromeda, is converging at 110 kilometers per second. In 4 billion years, they will merge their stars, weaving new spirals of light. It will not be destruction, it will be choreography. Gravity does not crave endings. It choreographs continuance. You can rest now. Inside black holes, that choreography deepens into silence. At the horizon, gravity becomes time. Inside time becomes rest. The equations show no violence there, only density, concentration, calm. Perhaps singularity is not collapse, but the ultimate stillness, the pause every vibration eventually reaches. It's okay to drift. Some cosmologists imagine that gravity has memory. Its waves, once created, never vanish. They ripple endlessly through space-time, recording every motion that ever was. If that is true, then somewhere within those ripples exists an imprint of you listening. Now, your breathing, your heartbeat, stored forever in the background music of existence. Every heartbeat is a small curvature the universe never forgets. You can rest now. At this depth of night, gravity becomes gentle affection. It draws you downward, not to bury, but to cradle. The mattress beneath you is the curvature of Earth's surface. The pressure you feel is the planet's embrace. You are a contour of its dream, a continuation of its ancient spin. Even asleep, you move with it eastward at 1600 kilometers per hour around the sun, through the galaxy, carried effortlessly by a gravity older than thought. It's okay to drift. Let that thought become a soundless hum. The same hum fills the core of the Earth, where molten iron flows in slow circles, creating magnetic fields that shield our fragile air. Gravity keeps that core turning, keeps the atmosphere close, keeps oceans pressed against land. Everything that breathes owes its rhythm to this unseen caretaker. Even silence depends upon it. You can rest now. Perhaps gravity dreams, because it longs to return to unity. It gathers what is scattered, restores what is lost, folds every wandering particle back toward home. Someday, when expansion slows and the galaxies stop running apart, gravity may take the lead again. The universe will inhale, stars will draw together, and all light will return to one point of rest. It's okay to drift. Until then, gravity keeps its vigil, the gentle constant in all motion, the lullaby beneath every silence. As you drift deeper, feel its patience beneath you, steady, unhurried, warm. It does not demand, it simply allows. You are already within its care. Light still travels. The universe still turns. But here, in this breath, time slows to match the Earth's quiet heartbeat. You are safe here. You can rest now. Light never truly leaves. It travels, fades, bends, and slows, but it never stops. Even photons that left the first stars still wander the dark, carrying messages older than galaxies. Across the cosmos, billions of such beams cross paths every second, threads of brightness weaving through the night, passing through dust, touching atoms, sliding unseen through your skin. They are everywhere. The ancient audience of creation. You can rest now. When a star dies, its light continues to travel for millennia, long after the source has turned cold. To an observer, it still shines. In that sense, death is never absolute. It is only delay. Light is the memory of being. Everything that has ever burned still glows somewhere, arriving now softly. Astronomers see that glow as starlight background radiation, a faint haze pervading space. The residue of 10 trillion suns. Its wavelength stretches across the infrared, warm, invisible, tender. If eyes could see it, the night would never be black. It's okay to drift. Some of that ancient light is trapped by gravity, orbiting black holes in shimmering rings. This region, called the photon sphere, is a perfect loop light, forever falling, but never captured, turning endlessly around darkness. It is the universe's own halo, a symbol of what it means to stay close without vanishing. Einstein predicted that near such gravity light can circle multiple times, forming echoes of the same image. A single star behind a black hole can appear in dozens of places at once, each reflection delayed by seconds or centuries. The cosmos remembers its own face through mirrors of curved time. You can rest now. Between galaxies, light travels through clouds of ionized gas, picking up subtle fingerprints, spectral lines, revealing what it touched along the way. Every photon carries a diary: which elements it met, which dust cooled it, how fast its source was receding. When astronomers decode that diary, they read entire histories. Each line a sentence, each wavelength a memory. Light is the handwriting of time. It's okay to drift. The speed of light, 299,792 kilometers per second, is not only a measure of distance, but of connection. When you look at the moon, you see it as it was 1.3 seconds ago. When you look at the sun, you see it as it was 8 minutes past. When you gaze at the Andromeda Galaxy, you are seeing light that began its journey 2.5 million years before language. To see is to commune across ages. You can rest now. All light eventually becomes one again. As stars fade and galaxies merge, their photons mix into a uniform field, the cosmic background of starlight. It fills space with a temperature of 1 Kelvin, so faint that only the most sensitive detectors can feel it. But it is there an ocean of memory washing softly through the void. No color, no heat, only presence. It's okay to drift. In the far future, when the last stars cool and collapse, light will linger as long radio waves, their wavelengths stretching to the size of galaxies. The universe will be dim but not dark, every horizon glowing with a final, even breath. Physicists call this the black body epoch, the time when all remaining energy rests. Yet even there, light continues to move its slow journey, the last whisper of expansion. You can rest now. If you could listen to light instead of see it, you would hear the cosmos as a choir of tones, each frequency a story. Gamma rays would sing in piercing clarity. Infrared waves would murmur like oceans. Together they would form the spectrum of existence, from the briefest flash to the longest hum. Every being, every thought is a harmony within that scale. It's okay to drift. Light that once crossed the empty dark now reaches this small world's softening walls, warming faces, glinting in the moisture of eyes. It touches you the same way it touched dust in the early cosmos. with no distinction between then and now. It is the continuity of attention, and as you breathe, that attention passes through you, from starlight to skin, from breath to night. You can rest now. Somewhere, light continues to travel. Somewhere, its scattered paths begin to cross again. The reunion has already begun, a convergence of every photon ever released, not in one place, but in one principle, that nothing radiant is ever lost. At the edge of the cosmos, light begins its slow return, not backward but inward, curving through gravity, folding time into itself. Every photon that once wandered outward finds another on its path. They meet, interfere, and blend their waves, overlapping into brightness that has no source. This is not the end of travel. It is the beginning of togetherness. You can rest now. Scientists call this blending interference, the meeting of two waves in phase. Where peaks align, brilliance rises. Where valleys meet, darkness forms. From these patterns emerge the shimmering of color, the halos around moons, the rippling auroras that move like breath through the sky. Interference is reunion, made visible the mathematics of belonging. It's okay to drift. In deep space telescopes, light from billions of galaxies overlaps until it becomes one smooth field. Astronomers measure its faintness in nanowatts per square meter, yet its meaning is infinite. Each photon, a survivor of collisions, fusions, awakenings. Each one carrying within its frequency a signature of something that once burned. Together they form the extragalactic background light, the quiet sum of everything that ever shone. You can rest now. Closer to home light returns in gentler ways. It filters through leaves, scatters off rivers, collects in the small glass curve of your window. The same sunlight that left the sun 8 minutes ago enters your room now as warmth. It touches the air, the pillow, your skin, and in that moment the journey of a star ends in comfort. Light that left its home has found another in you. It's okay to drift. When photons strike your eyes, they do not stay. They vanish into chemistry, turning energy into vision. Rods and cones translate vibration into meaning. For an instant, you hold the shape of a star inside your mind. Then it releases, becoming thought, then memory, then calm. Perception itself is reunion, the meeting of outer light and inner witness. You can rest now. Physics tells us that light behaves both as particle and wave. But in truth, it is context, a messenger adjusting to perception. In darkness, it becomes potential. In reflection, it becomes memory. At the quantum level, a photon exists in all paths until observed. Observation collapses possibility into presence. The act of noticing completes the reunion. It's okay to drift. Even in dreams, light persists. Brain scans show faint bursts of neural brightness as the sleeping mind constructs imagined dawns. The same energy that travels galaxies now sketches landscapes behind your closed eyes. Neurons fire at 0.07 volts, each impulse a miniature sunrise. Dreams are the mind's way of re-emitting what it once received. You can rest now. Some cosmologists believe that at the end of all expansion, when every particle has cooled, quantum fluctuations will spark a new ignition. A photon will appear where none existed. That spark will grow, inflating space again, lighting another universe. In that recurrence, light and gravity reunite as creators once more. What fades is not lost. It is preparing to shine elsewhere. It's okay to drift. Tonight, that vast cycle contracts to a single moment, your breath. Inhale, starlight enters. Exhale, warmth returns. The rhythm is identical on every scale. You are a galaxy breathing in miniature, a living echo of cosmic expansion and rest. You can rest now. As awareness grows lighter, imagine yourself as a field of photons. Edges dissolve, thought becomes transparency. The boundaries of the body fade into gentle luminescence. No weight, no need, no hurry, only radiance returning to origin. You are not surrounded by light. You are light finding its way home through you. It's okay to drift. Somewhere, photons still cross the gulf between stars. They never tire, never age. Their existence is motion without friction, a promise that distance cannot undo connection. Every beam that ever touched you remains part of the cosmic ledger of brightness. Nothing luminous is ever forgotten. Light still travels, the universe still breathes, and within that breathing, you arrive again and again, a reunion that never ends. You are safe here. You can rest now. At the edge of the night, everything slows. Light softens into warmth, gravity eases its hold, and time itself seems to pause, as if the universe were taking one last patient breath. You have traveled through the origins of vibration, through the hidden bridges of matter and time, through the dream of gravity and the reunion of light. Now there is nothing left to cross, only the quiet field that holds it all. You can rest now. Physicists speak of the universe reaching thermal equilibrium, a moment when every particle has shared its energy, when temperature becomes perfectly even, when motion ceases to prefer any direction. They call it heat death, but perhaps it is better named cosmic rest. A stillness vast enough to cradle everything it once created. In that distant epoch, time will lose its arrow, and existence will no longer unfold. It will simply be. Stars will fade, galaxies will thin, and what remains will glow faintly, a low, eternal aftertone, the hum of peace. It's okay to drift. You are hearing a smaller version of that equilibrium now. Your body has distributed its warmth evenly. The rhythm of breath is constant. The pulse has slowed to match the planet's spin. At this moment, you are in perfect thermal symmetry with your world. Your neurons, billions of tiny circuits, have quieted their storms of electricity. They fire in long, gentle waves, no longer racing to compute, but flowing in unity. This is the physiology of stillness, the science of sleep's embrace. You can rest now. In deep sleep, the brain produces delta waves, slow oscillations between 1 and 4 hertz. Each cycle lasts nearly a second, a rhythm so calm it resembles tides. Cerebrospinal fluid washes through neural tissue in those intervals, cleansing cells, restoring balance. It is a nightly ocean, current guided by gravity and heartbeat together. Even in unconsciousness, you remain synchronized with the larger world. Stillness is motion slowed until it becomes awareness. It's okay to drift. Astrophysicists once wondered whether the expansion of the universe would stop. Some thought gravity might pull everything back inward in a grand reversal, a big crunch. Others imagined expansion continuing forever. But a newer thought has emerged. Perhaps the end is not collapse or explosion, but quiet. A slowing so complete that time itself becomes indistinguishable from rest. That idea mirrors sleep perfectly. Every night, consciousness expands with thought, then contracts into silence, then awakens to begin again. You are performing the universe's oldest ritual, the daily return to equilibrium. You can rest now. Somewhere light still travels, but its journey feels slower, as though it were reluctant to leave. It moves through the cold clarity between galaxies, its frequency stretching lower and lower, until the wave becomes indistinguishable from background silence. This is called redshift to infinity light's way of becoming stillness. In this room, your breath performs the same act. Each exhale, a small redshift. Each inhale, a renewal of expansion. Even in rest, the pattern continues. It's okay to drift. Gravity holds the final word. Without it, space would have scattered into chaos. Because of it, planets orbit, hearts beat, oceans remain. But gravity also knows when to let go. At the far edges of time, it too will soften, not vanish, but merge with the fabric it once curved. Curvature will relax into flatness, force into balance. The dream will complete itself. You can rest now. Inside the sleeping mind, memories reorganize. Synapses replay fragments of the day, weaving them into quieter sequences. Neuroscientists call this consolidation. In these gentle loops, meaning is distilled from experience. You are doing the same now. The science of forgetting just enough to heal. Dream fragments rise, faces, colors, landscapes made of half-remembered light. Each one, a small echo of the cosmos, recreating itself behind your eyelids. Your dreams are not random. They are the universe rehearsing creation again. This time, inside you. It's okay to drift. Somewhere deep in the body, the heartbeat sends its last waking rhythm to the ears. Lub-dub, pause. Lub-dub, pause. Each pause stretches a little longer, like waves receding from the shore. Between beats, you sense an expanding quiet. That quiet is not absence. It is presence too subtle for sound. Silence is the space where the universe listens to itself. You can rest now. Outside night continues its patient motion. Continents turn beneath the stars. The atmosphere hums faintly at 7.83 hertz. The Schumann resonance, the Earth's natural lullaby. Every living thing sleeps within that tone. Trees, birds, oceans you. It is the global heartbeat, the same frequency that lulls lightning tides and thought. You are part of it, woven into the Earth's nocturnal breath. It's okay to drift. As sleep deepens, the boundaries of self dissolve. The observer fades. Only observation remains. Awareness expands into sensation. Sensation merges with stillness. In physics, this is called decoherence, the moment quantum possibility settles into rest. In the body, it is the instant when mind and muscle stop distinguishing effort. You become the symmetry you once observed. You can rest now. Imagine standing once more at the edge of the cosmic sea. This time, there is no horizon, only reflection. Stars shimmer below you, as well as above their light, indistinguishable from your own. When you inhale, they brighten. When you exhale, they dim. The entire universe breathes with you. It's okay to drift. In some future epoch, when every photon has cooled and every atom decayed, perhaps the cosmos will dream again. Quantum fields will stir. A new vibration will arise. And from that vibration, light will return. Creation will begin anew, not as repetition, but as rhythm. Each cycle a heartbeat, each rest a renewal. What sleeps will wake. You can rest now, and if the universe breathes, then you are its inhale. If the stars rest, then you are their dream. Every cell of you participates in that infinite calm. The atoms in your skin are older than suns. The silence in your chest is the same silence between galaxies. You are already home. Light still travels, and the universe breathes through you. You are safe here. You can rest now. In the last few heartbeats before sleep, thoughts fragment into shapes of color words, slow into breath. If you listen closely, you may still hear the fading hum of creation. It sounds like distance dissolving like a galaxy, exhaling like the moment before dawn. The story ends where it began, in the soft geometry of stillness. Everything returns there. Eventually, light, gravity, time, and you. You are home. You can rest now. If you're still awake, the next wonder waits in the light ahead.